Hello everyone and welcome back to What the Folk, this time for the 5th Wednesday of July. So we're still going to be talking about fairies and the fae, and I believe I owe you a story about the Gwyllion and goats. I can't remember how much I said 2 weeks ago on the subject of goats, whether I kind of explained that they have mystical occult knowledge and are highly prized by the fae, and so much so, and they're on such good terms with the Tylwyth Teg that every Friday night they will come out and comb the beards of goats so that they're presentable for Sundays, for some reason. So I'm not going to dwell on it here. However, I'm just going to get straight onto the story of Cadwaladr's goat. This is a Welsh folk tale. The story begins, as you would imagine, with Cadwaladr and his goat. His goat was named Jenny. She was a very handsome goat, and Cadwaladr was very fond of her. However, one evening something strange happened. As if the devil possessed her, she started to run away. Cadwaladr noticed this, and, half mad with fright, gave chase. And after being eluded time and time again, Cadwaladr's Welsh blood ran so hot that he flung a stone at her, and knocking her over the edge of a precipice. Immediately regretting his action, he chased down to the bottom of the crag and found Jenny lying there, dying but not dead. The goat licked his hand, and so affected was he by this that he started crying. He took the goat's head in his arms and stayed there for a long while, until eventually the moon rose, and as it did, the goat transformed into a beautiful young maiden with hazel eyes, and with those eyes he looked up into his and said, "Ah, Cadwaladr, how I found you at last." And then, putting her black slipper on the edge of a silver moonbeam, she gave him his hand to raise him up as she was now standing. And although he took her hand, oddly, it felt almost as if it was a hoof. And then, following the moonbeam upwards, they shortly found themselves on top of the tallest mountain of all of Wales. And there was a procession of spectral goats, and a bleating rose up all around them, a deafening din that caused Cadwaladr's ears to hurt. But then one goat that was bleating, that could be distinguished above all others, stepped forth and stood before Cadwaladr. Jenny had moved away by this point, and again the din raising to even louder volumes, the goat charged at Cadwaladr and knocked him from the edge of the mountain. The next morning he awoke unharmed, but he had experienced the fear of falling from such a great height, and he'd never seen nor heard Jenny from that point on. And that's the story of Cadwaladr and his goat, a story of goats and fairies, their connection, the Gwyllion, the fairies who live in the mountains, and also another story of fairies meting out their own style of justice to those who have wronged them. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the tale of Cadwaladr and his goat, however poorly I may have recanted it. This has been What the Folk. Next month I believe we're going to be talking about goblins. You'll be hearing from Keir, and hopefully it will be just as exciting next month. Thank you and good night.